Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you tuned in here with us on SmackDown Catfishing. Well, we're going to be talking some catfishing tonight. We're going to be talking some electronics and tips and techniques. So glad to have y'all here. If you're just now getting tuned in with us and are watching our program, we want to thank you for being a part of it. If you would, tag a couple of your friends, share this right here video, share our program. Let's see if we can't get 150 viewers in here tonight. We got my co-host in with us. I'm Stacy Gasson. I got my co-host, and I'm telling you, he's over there SmackDown ready tonight. He's decked out, and he's smacked. Is that SmackDown blue or Kentucky? It ain't quite Kentucky blue there, is it, Joey?
It's SmackDown Kentucky blue.
Joey, good to have you with us tonight, man.
Okay.
How's your day been going, bud?
Good. One more day of work, and then I'm off for it.
Yes, sir. And I don't know if y'all know this guy that we have in here with us tonight, but we have a very special guest with us. I've had the privilege of fishing with Noah on 2 Cabela's tournaments. Happened to fish one with him probably 2 years ago, and we won first place that day. We was blessed to be able to put 189 pounds in the boat and one around 50, and we had a couple more smaller ones. Me and him fished the Cabela's Classic, and I will tell you then, it's something I probably won't ever live down, but you know, it is what it is. We had one that measured probably about 34 1/8 or 34 3/16 over, and I take responsibility of that, but it is what it is. I didn't realize that when they went to measure them, they pinched the tails and sort of tried to pull them a little bit, and I didn't do that when I did measure. But we have Noah in the house with us. Noah Ishcomer. Noah, glad to have you a part of our program, my friend.
Good to be on here.
Yeah, man, me and him and his daddy has had some great times out on the boat, man, and just talking and sharing with one another. So we're so glad to have you here, a part of our program. I want to also go back, and Joey, I don't know who all we got in on the chat with us tonight. I know we already got about 134 viewers that's tuned in with us on Facebook and YouTube tonight. So guys, we just want to thank y'all for being a part of this program. Joey, you got anything else before we get started?
I don't. I'm ready to pick on Noah just a little bit. He's got some. You can see he's works in concrete a lot. He's got them big old broad shoulders. So we're going to get on him just a little bit and see if he can hang.
Yeah,
I think I can do it.
Let me tell y'all this: as you're coming in, if you're new to the program, we're going to do some giveaways. Matter of fact, we got $75 of gift certificates tonight. We're going to give away. We're going to give them away in 2 different sets, a $50 and a $25. We have some other stuff here that we're going to give away. So be putting in the comment bar SDC. Just put that right there, and that's what we look for as we're giving stuff away. Noah, we're glad to have you here, man. And I want you to just tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a tournament fisher. I'm 15 years old. I think it was 2 years ago I won the Cabela's Junior Angler of the Year. I think me, Dad, well, our whole family, we fished together. I think I've won a total of 3 tournaments, maybe 4. I'll go with 3. That way I can be safe. We won 3, and then I study Humminbird electronics. I'm looking to go to the training technician school up in Minnesota, and looking forward to having a good time tonight. May the Lord help me and help me not to stumble over my words.
Oh, hey, listen, no, we're gonna walk you right through this thing, man. I want to share this. I remember mine and your first. Well, it was our second time fishing together when me and you was at the Classic. And that day we had an epic day. I don't know how many fish we caught, but man, we caught some fish
Woo!
that day.
Hey, we did.
We and I was feeling really good about ourselves and where we was sitting at. But we went down the lake that day and we pulled up and I'm pretty curious and pretty particular about my unit. And Noah made the comment, "You mind me looking at this unit a little bit?" And I said, "Sure, and I didn't tell you this, Noah, but I was like, oh Lord, I hope he don't mess my unit up." And Noah got to mashing buttons on my unit and doing little things to it. And I knew right then, I said, this guy right here knows what he's doing on these things that he's doing. Because all of a sudden, we was drifting along and he said, let's just do it here. I think we can get this image a little bit better. And man, he tuned it right in. And I know that you have spent a lot of time and effort just by that. I was amazed by it. You spent a lot of time and effort trying to study on these electronics.
Yes, sir. Just about every chance I
Guys,
get.
Go ahead.
Just about every chance I get, I try to study on them. Dad had bought a Helix 9. It was a Gen 2, but it was updated and everything. We had it, and I got to mess with it for about 2.5 years. So I'm pretty well on a Solix. I mean Helix, but I'm pretty well on a Solix too. The Solix I've messed with for about 1.5 years, and of course, but you know us, we spend 24/7 on, well, except for Sundays, we spend all our time on the water. But I get a lot of chance to tune them in or mess with them and try them and get a lot of practice pushing buttons.
Well,
yes, sir. I'm going to share this for the people that's out there. This guy right here is he's a young kid, a young man, advancing and trying to do what he can. He's wanting to go into what is that? A technical training for hummingbird or
yes, sir,
electronics?
Yes, sir. It's a hummingbird technician training, and they teach you Talon, Minn Kota, and hummingbird.
I got you. And looking to start that when?
The time set's not set exactly. It's not set, but I'm looking for sometime this summer.
I got you. And guys, during that time, if you need any help or anything like that, I promise you, you can call this guy. Joey, you just caught him last week, and he helped you out tremendously, didn't he?
Well, I'll tell you this much. I really didn't know to get it out there or not, but I'm going to get it out there right now. How many's on there, Stacy?
We got 162 watching.
Well, I'll tell 162 of you right now. I've had probably, I'll be like Noah, I'll guess on the low side, I've probably had 20 people or so contact me about my unit. All of you know I've had a Lowrance for ever since I started 5, 6, 7 years ago. I since just switched over to a hummingbird. I talked to Journey and I talked to Noah. When I got to talking to Noah, he said, go out there to your unit and we'll FaceTime. We did that. He told me what to put in there. The images that y'all see of my units, minus the sensitivity and contrast a little bit, but the main deal come from Noah. And if that, I'm not exaggerating at all. And like Stacy said and Noah said, he's getting ready to go to this school, and he's put it out there to get in contact with his father on Facebook, Jerry Ishcomer. They'll get you with Noah. And if you would like to help him out a little bit to go to this technical school this summer, he will be glad to help you out. And I promise you, it will be worth whatever you send his way, because he is a blessing on them units. I guarantee you.
Joey, you sent me some of the numbers for that side imaging and down imaging, and I'm gonna tell you what I thought. I'm like, it can't get much better than what I got. That's what I was thinking. So Saturday we was out there on the water, and I'm sitting over a top, and I'm looking at it pretty good. And I think to myself, I pulled my phone up. I said, let me put in what Joey sent me that Noah sent him. And I reached around there and hit them numbers. I looked right at that unit and I went, wow. Yeah, it did make a difference.
Hey, my hat's off to him because he flat. Hey, not only did he tell me, he said, Mr. Joey, go turn your unit on. I'm gonna FaceTime you. I did it. He said, click this, click that, click this, move this to that. And when I got out on that water, it was just a matter of sensitivity and contrast. And all of you that seen the pictures that I've put on Facebook in the last couple of weeks, they are all compliments of Noah. So I promise you, it will be worth your time if you're struggling with your unit or something. He will flat put you on it, and he's a great young man, that's for sure.
Let's get into a little bit of talking catfish with Noah. Noah, tell us a little about your catfish experience. What's the biggest blue cat you've caught, and tell us about your rigs and what is your preferred method, dragging or anchoring? Just tell us a little bit about that right there.
Well, there's one thing you want to know: how the biggest one I've caught or the biggest one I've hooked.
Well, you can tell us about both of them.
I tell you what, the biggest one I've caught has been 53.4 pounds. I know it's not huge, but I'm looking to break that this coming year. But it all depends on methods. Depends on different bodies of water, how you fish it. If I go to Wheeler and I see a spot, if I go out in the middle of the lake and I see a fish right there, it depends if the fish are on bottom or if they're suspended. If I'm gonna anchor or if I'm gonna drag. But most of the time, if it's a lake, I like dragging. If it's a river, I like anchoring or bumping. And y'all know the bumping rig. You know, the 3-way swivel, leader going all the way down, or weight going on the main line, straight in line with the main line, and your bait going out to the side. And then for the dragon rigs, we use the help me out. I think it's the Carolina rig, and we use the Jerry Girardi's dragon weights, and they work very well. And I think that one of my favorite places to fish would be the all-time classic Wheeler. And I can't think of no other lake I'd rather go and fish.
Yeah, if nobody's fished on Wheeler Lake or fished up on the Tennessee River,
oh man,
it is an experience. I told Joey one time we fishing. I don't think if you live there, you may not know what you got. But if you fish somewhere else and go there, you realize, man, this is nothing. This right here is just a gem sitting here. It is loaded with fish. It's loaded with nice catfish. I've never seen no reservoir like it. I haven't fished the James River or Santee Cooper, but they're going to have to be really good to be able to top that Tennessee River chain up there in North Alabama. Forest fish, are they there?
I agree.
I like Gunnersville Lake too. Me and Mr. Larry Muse, we went fishing. We was taking some kids fishing, some terminally ill kids. We took them fishing, and we went out fishing in Gunnersville, and we was at I'm just gonna say a big rock bluff is all I'm gonna say. But we went out and we was idling through there with he had an Onyx on his boat. I'm pretty farewell with those, but he had an Onyx on his boat, and we was idling through there, and on down imaging we seen two. I'm just gonna say it looked like two big old logs laying down there, and so we got right over there, and he spot locked and he suspended, and he dropped them baits down, reeled them up about 2 or 3 reels, and we sat there. About 15 minutes later, that rod was in the water. 54 pounds. I mean, we anchored up on him. We caught him. A spot locked right on him.
Wow.
But I think that's one of the first, one of my second or third choices I'd fish. But
Hey, Joey, let's stop right here just for a second, and let's do a giveaway. Let's go ahead and do a giveaway for tonight, Joey. I've got it won't be a t-shirt just like this one. It's a little bit different color. It's a royal blue or a gray, in any size. It's got the SmackDown emblem on it. I get messed up with the camera right here. I can't get my hand. Everything's backwards, but y'all can see that right there. We're gonna give away one of these T-shirts right here. So Joey, give me a number there between 1 and 7. We'll go with that.
Let's go with number 6. While you're getting the winner, I'll go ahead and tell them. Last week, I think it was last Tuesday, Stacy's SmackDownCatfishing.com just started. It's SmackDownCatfishing.com. You can get your rod holders on there. SmackDown shirts, blue and gray. And Stacy, I'm gonna throw this out there too. I had 3 different text messages today from local friends that told me that they want a shirt. So all my local friends, they're on SmackDownCatfishing.com. I don't have any shirts, but that's where they're at, everybody.
The winner tonight, that right there, he's on YouTube. If you will contact me, you can contact me on Facebook, through Facebook Messenger. It's Black Chrome 84. Just send me a message on Facebook Message if you have that right there, and I will make contact from there, and I'll make sure we get your size. I have these shirts right here in a royal blue and a gray, and we'll get that to you. And Black Chrome 84, thank you for being a part of our program here this afternoon. Go ahead, Joey.
Really, Noah, I got a question. I know y'all were pretty new to the tournament fishing scene. How long have you and your family been fishing together? And what initially made y'all start fishing the tournament scene?
Well, we've always, ever since I can remember, we've always actually fished together. Every time we'd go fishing, we'd go fish together. But what happened was, well, it's a little story. I'll make it real short. But we went fishing on the Arkansas River, and we had an 18-foot boat. We had an 18-foot, I think it was a Luma craft, or a Luma whale, something. But anyway, and we fished on the. We took our houseboat too, and we stayed on the houseboat, and we fished out of our aluminum boat. Well, we pulled into this pizza place one time, and we seen our first sea arc. It was a 24-foot sea arc Big Daddy, and so Dad will deny it, but he was drooling over that boat, and it was the biggest boat I'd ever seen. It was 24 foot compared to our 18 foot. I mean, it was like a Titanic next to it. But anyway, he asked the guy about it, and we wrote down, all the information on it. And well, anyway, we got back home, and Dad went to looking, and he found one of the boats. He found a Big Daddy. Well, we got one, and the Sea Arc, they sent him an invitation to the Sea Arc tournament, and that was our first tournament. Let me see. Yes, sir, that was our first tournament, and then from there we started fishing the Cabela's, and our second tournament we ever fished was on Tawakoni in Cabela's, but at the Sea Arc, the first tournament we had ever fished, the first one, we come in 5th place out of 100, and I think it was 84 boats or 150 boats. But that made us happy. That's what got us hooked.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have fished several tournaments a year, haven't y'all, Noah?
Yes, sir. The first year we went, we fished. Let me see. The first year we went, we fished. I'll say 14 and be safe. I'll say we fished about 14 tournaments a year.
Yes, sir.
I could say 16 tournaments, but I'll be safe and say 14. About 14 tournaments a year.
For all the people that don't know, Noah's family, they all travel together, and they fish every day besides Sunday. what they do is one Jerry will pull the camper or the boat, and his wife Nikki will pull the other, and they will leave one tournament and head. He's from Texas, but they will head from one tournament and go straight to the next tournament and set up shop and family time all week on the water. That's well, they're living well. That's for sure. Living the dream.
Hey, living the dream, man.
God's blessed us.
Joey, well, listen, what would you have done being 15 years old and been able to fish this much, Joey?
I probably would have been a good fisherman by now.
Oh, well, Noah. Let's do this right here before we go any further. We're gonna come back and talk a little bit about electronics. I know that's one of your passions. Let's do another giveaway. Bloodline tackle. Jerry Droughty always comes in and supports our program. We just want to give a shout out to him and what he does. I want to thank you so much, Jerry. Guys, if you're looking for some kind of dragon weights of any kind, contact Bloodline Tackle. You can find him on Facebook, Jerry Droughty. Get in touch with him. He has several different styles of dragon weights. He has some unique stuff that leaves a blood trail behind and standing sticks. So if you would contact him, if you have any weight issues, looking for some dragon weights, give this man a try. He's going to send out a little demo package to someone here this afternoon. So I know that you done put SDC in. And Joey, give me another number between 1 and 7. We got Steve Sanchez. Team Steve,
Get him a number, Noah. That way they'll be mad at you.
4.
All right. Noah, while he's drawing this, I'm going to throw out a couple questions for you. If you would, answer them pretty quick.
I'll try.
What's your favorite bait?
Skipjack.
What? Where are you from?
Jasper, Texas.
When you are, there was one more question. Noah, how many times have you ran out of gas?
3 times.
All right.
And they was all in the Mississippi River.
Okay. And Noah, how do you identify and fish current seams in rivers?
Now, how do I identify current seams or identify fish?
How do you identify current seams on the rivers? What it said?
Normally in the Mississippi River, you'll see if you're looking for a current seam, you'll see the water. It'll start churning really hard right there at that current seam. And usually, if you get up, anchor about 100 feet above it, and then throw back and let your bait go back, that's how you fish and find them.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hang on, I had it right here, so give me just a second.
Mr. Carl Wells says you ran out of gas one time on Wheeler Lake.
Wheeler Lake, yes, sir, we did. We sure did.
Hey, you're not going to get nothing over these people, I'm telling you.
No, we run out of gas, and we got about I don't know, we got about half. We was up at by Elk Creek, and we got about halfway back to Decatur, and ran out of gas. Called Carl. He brought us a 2-gallon gas can, and Dad opened it up. Got about a quarter of the way to Decatur and run out. Had to call Mom. She called another guy, and he brought us some gas. It was a.
So who brought you the gas?
Mr. Carl Wells.
So it's his fault y'all ran out the second time. He should have brought you 5 gallons.
He should have. He should have.
There you go.
And I blamed it on him ever since.
He's the one that's on there picking on you.
Yep, he'll do it.
Hey, Brian Huff, congratulations, man. Brian, I don't know if you know Jerry Droughty with Bloodline Tackle. You can contact him directly on Facebook through Facebook Messenger. If you don't know how to get in touch with him, feel free to contact me, Stacy Gasson, up on a Facebook Messenger, or you can just send me a message up under Smack. I'd rather you contact me through Facebook Messenger up under Stacy Gaston. But if you don't have me on there, you can contact me through SmackDown Catfishing, and I'll get you connected with him. Or you just go straight to Jerry Droughty at Bloodline Tackle. Brian, thank you for being a part of our program, man. And don't y'all go anywhere, because we got 2 more giveaways that we're going to do here this afternoon. Let's talk a little bit about electronics.
Yeah.
And Noah, and I want you to tell us a little bit about what's some of the key things or the important things that you think about electronics from the very setup and installation and going forwards. Just some of the basic things there.
Well, the first thing, anytime you get a new unit, I'm assuming it's going to be on factory settings, unless you didn't get a new unit. But anytime you buy a unit, period, the first thing you should do is set it back to factory settings. After you set it back to factory settings, the second thing you need to do is get your megahertz right. The megahertz is the key. And a lot of people will argue with this, that megahertz isn't the most important thing. But in my opinion, it is. I've had more success getting the megahertz right and then doing the sensitivity, contrast, max mode, and all that than working the other way around. Because there went Joey. But after you get the megahertz right, because the megahertz, what they do is they change the way the beam goes through the water and the way it projects the image back. And once you get that right, it can define the way, like if you want to see a thin arch, kind of like yours does, Stacy, and if like that, and then once you get that right, where you can see them arches, you can turn that sensitivity so that you can see the density of them arches. And then the contrast shows how much of the color and bone is in that arch.
Yeah, and for the new people here, when they're looking at them arches, that arch on the hard return, I think on my unit, on my color settings, is that that hard return's going to start off. The real hard is red, and the next step is a yellow, and it just steps right on down. I think a bluish or a green looking.
Yes, sir.
And, when I'm looking for catfish, I'm looking for some red. That's what I'm looking for. A big arch with some red in the front of it, and you're like, hey, that's the hard part of that head. And And I have people ask me all the time, can I look at one and tell if it is can you look at him and tell how big he is? I can't tell how big he is, but I can tell you this. I do know when I'm looking at a small one, and I do know when I'm looking at a big one.
That's right. That's exactly right. I tell you what, we was looking at some big ones on Wilson. I mean, not Wilson, Wheeler. Me and Dad, we went, and me and Dad went to Wheeler, and there's a spot. It's right out in the middle of the river channel. And I tell you what, we went out and we seen the perfect arches. I mean, I took a screenshot of it, but it got erased somehow. I don't know who did that, but we went out there and we fished it and we caught some fish. And I'll tell you another thing, and this is very important to me, but bodies of water has to do with your unit. And a lot of people says, what megahertz do you need? Well, it depends on what bodies of water you're going to be fishing.
Yep. When I talked to Noah, that's what he said. He said, you fish on Ohio River. Now, there's several people still in chat that's asking a bunch of stuff. And in case they didn't catch it, you can get a hold of Noah through Jerry Ishcomer, his father's Facebook Messenger. Get a hold of him. He's if you'd like to tip him or anything, he's getting ready to go to a school to excel in this. So any of y'all that's looking for helixes, solixes, He will ask you what water you're on, and more than likely they fished it. And he's got a book that he keeps tabs on, and you can hear him in the background turning them pages. And he will flat set your unit up. I'm telling y'all, it's he that's what he did to me. And y'all seen what I have. Stacy's put some of them in his, and yes, usually he will fix your units. So when you pull up, usually you'll just have to mess with your contrast and sensitivity, and it will be pretty close to dead on the money. He's helped me a couple times.
But this is the thing. I tell people I'm going to be going to the school in the technician school is in Mankato, Minnesota, and from where I live, that's 16 hours. And the training school is, I think it's a 2-week course, so we'll be having to get a hotel for 2 weeks up there in Minnesota. And if for what I'm doing, the units that I'm tuning in, if any donations are made or anybody pays me anything, what that goes to is that goes to the expenses, and that goes to like the food, and actual school costs and the fuel that it's going to take to get up there. And like I said, I don't have a set price yet. What it is it's however much you think I should have. That's how much you give me. And but I just thought I might put that out there. Anything that I get goes toward the funds of the technician training school.
He is.
If y'all need some help with your electronics, get in touch with Noah. He'll help you out, and if you can, just help him out in return. I've got a plan, Joey. I think when he comes back from that schooling, I'm gonna offer to carry him on a free fishing trip.
Well, hey, me and you got the same units, so just invite me as well, and we'll both take care of him.
I'm gonna just tell him, well, while we out here, won't you see what you can do with mine?
Hey, beginning of the show, he was talking about how much he can eat. Now, Noah, me and Stacy's tightwad, so between me and him, kicking in some money together, we can probably get you maybe a value meal at McDonald's or something.
You can order off the $1 menu.
There you go. But yes, sir. He's good, fellas. Aaron Churchwell said, Noah, what are some easy hummingbird setting altercations to help people get better pictures?
Well, without messing with your without messing with your megahertz, some of the things you can do is like I said, the first thing you gotta do is get your megahertz right. But you can turn your max mode on, turn it from another thing. A lot of people, whenever they get a new unit, what they want to do is they want to put their settings in angler mode. Don't put it in angler mode, put it in custom mode. That opens up a whole new set of options, because when you put it in angler, it presets it. When you put it in custom, it opens up a whole new well, you can customize it more. But put it in custom mode, put it in max mode, and like I said, your contrast and sensitivity is all key. That's 4 things you can do. But
while you're on the megahertz, he said, how do you know what megahertz to choose? Just trial and error?
Well, honestly, normally the end number is going to be higher than the beginning number. That's I'll say that. Honestly, if you want to know about megahertz, you can private message me and I'll FaceTime you and I'll tune your unit in.
Yeah. He will. He will tune it in.
But I've seen somebody on here said give away a FaceTiming session.
It's free right now. How do you change them on a Helix 10 Gen 2 Mega? I guess they want to know how you change the megahertz on it.
Well, what you do is you hit your menu button twice. You go to your setup, and it should be the second option from the bottom, either second or third option. It'll say chirp configuration, and you click that, and it should say SI chirp, DI chirp, and 2D sonar, and then you click on that, and it'll have a list of numbers, and you scroll down through there, and you start changing.
You think he don't know what he's talking about? But there you go.
Oh.
This Carl Wells says that angler mode messes everything up accidentally. Did that, and it took me days to figure it out.
I think I remember that. But I tuned Mr. Carl Wells's unit in on Rayburn, Lake Sam Rayburn here, where we live at. He lives by us, so he knows. I took it out there, and we could see fish hanging around them trees.
Stacy, some people are asking if you could put his information, what you would like, where he would like people to get in touch with him, if you could.
I got it.
We got you.
Give me a second.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Joey.
I see it. What's this thing right here? Minimum $20 donation for FaceTime.
Yeah.
I don't know where that come from.
Hey, if that's what y'all want,
stuff on here, I don't know how I get it on here.
If that's what y'all want to pay, y'all can pay it. I don't. Whatever y'all feel like.
I can tell you this: when I got in touch with Noah, I literally had just switched over to a Humminbird. He told me, turn the power on. I held my phone right there to the unit. He said, click, and it was literally, I had my whole unit dialed in before I even went out on the water in less than 10 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. And the first thing he asked was what body of water I'm fishing on, Ohio River. He had been here and fished it, and he said, I heard him turn them pages and put the numbers in. Noah, do you like down scan or 2D?
Ooh, well, I like them both. Mostly, I don't know. That's a very tough question. Both of them are awesome. If I could only use one of them, I would probably I'd probably use 2D because I could see the arches. I can see the arches a little bit better, and I could tell a little bit more about the fish from the 2D, a little bit on what size he is from the down imaging.
Gotcha. Lisa here says that you helped her out tremendously.
I did. That was a fun experience right there.
What Humminbird unit, if you had to recommend one, what Humminbird unit would it be?
Well, if you're looking to buy one, it depends on what price range, but the best one out there right now is the Solix 15 Gen 2. As to my knowledge, that's the best one that you can get. Now the Solix comes in 10 and 15. I think it comes in a 12 and a 15. No, I'm sorry. It may come in a 10. I think it comes in a 10. But the Solix units, period, are very good units. That's the one I would recommend.
There you go. Already got people wanting.
Hi, Smackdown Daddy.
That's who I've been waiting on to come in the show right here. Where have you been?
I've been feeding the chickens.
Wait, I want you to do one thing for me. Are you ready?
Yes.
I want you to tell me when you used to see me, you always tell me you was gonna put something on them. You're gonna put the smackdown on them.
Yes. I put put the smackdown on them.
Listen to this right here, Joey. I've got a $25 gift certificate that I want to give away. And let's go ahead and do that right now. And we're going to come back and answer a few more questions. Then we're going to give away a $50 gift certificate. Guys, the ones that win this $25 gift certificate, it's not just a $25 package. You just contact Dale Dunaway with Dale's Tackle. You get in touch with him, and he'll let you know. I think you can just spend it on what you want to spend it on there. So if you're in the comment box, if you're new, go ahead and put in SDC, and we're going to grab a winner out of this right here. We want to thank Dale's Tackle. We want to thank guys. I can't express to you enough these giveaways that we doing. A lot of these guys and a lot of men and women who just view our program, make donations to this program to give away stuff to you. And I can't express to you enough, the majority of them don't want their names mentioned. They don't do it for none of that. They just do it to support this program. And guys, I'm humbled at the outreach of the ones that support this program. And you know who you are, and I cannot express to you enough what it means to me and Joey for you to be able to do this. So ever who wins this right here, just get in contact with Dale's Tackle, and he'll go over with you, and he'll take care of you on this right here. So go ahead, Joey, and give me somebody right here, right off the bat.
Lucky number 3.
Number 3. Look right here.
Nope.
Well,
Noah, Navionics or Lake Master?
They're both very good. Personally, I use Navionics. You can adjust them in your unit. Of course, you can adjust the Lake Master too, but it's really personal preference.
All right. Brian Huff, you can get a hold of him. There's still several people asking through Jerry Ishcomer's Facebook. Just message.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that. I forgot to put that up there, Joey.
Face and we'll get you.
I'm fixing to pull this name right here if I had it.
Can Noah help with Simple Hummingbird? Helix 5, Gen 2, DI.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Here we go. I had to chase it back down. It was moving by me so fast.
Yeah.
So Brian King, you are the winner of the $25 gift certificate. You can contact Dale's Tackle on Facebook or Dale Dunaway, and he can get you in contact. He can set you up and take care of you from there. Brian, want to thank you so much for tuning in and being part of our program right here.
Thanks, Brian.
Steve Stacy, I want to give a shout out to Steve Stacy. He is the owner of Real Cat Nappers, Cat Life. I like the hat, man.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, Steve. Guys, if y'all looking for some fishing equipment, y'all get in touch with Steve. He can help you out. He's got some rods there that he sells, and I know he's got some hats and some shirts. So contact this guy right here. Steve, we appreciate you, man. We're going to get ready to wrap it up here. Joey, is there anything else in chat that you want to cover? And Noah, is there anything else you want to go over?
Well, like I said, you can get a hold of, well, y'all said it before, but you can get a hold of me through Dad's Facebook or Mom's Facebook or Hannah's Facebook. Mm-hmm. My sister, Hannah Ishcomer, my mom, Nikki Ishcomer, my dad, Jerry Ishcomer. You can get a hold of them. And if y'all, like I said, any of the funds that I receive through the units that I tune in, it goes to the school, and the funding of it goes to help pay for the expenses and the school cost itself. But you can get a hold of me through Dad or Mom or Hannah, and I'll fix you up.
Yep. Or
Good deal.
if any of y'all can't find him, get a hold of me or Stacy, and we will get you the information that you need to get in touch with him. And Noah, what's your favorite rod and reel?
My favorite rod is the Catch the Fever medium heavy with a foam handle. And my favorite reel, I got two reels. I like them both. One's a Shimano TR200G, and the other one is a Abu Garcia 6500, and then the Abu Garcia 7000.
I don't think he uses the Kirby rigs. I think they use Demon Dragons, I believe. So, have y'all tried them rigs yet, Noah?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir. We haven't tried them yet.
We'll get you some. So that's about. There's one. Joey, tell him I run 2 units, an old 998 SI and a Mega 10. Will his settings bring out the best in my 998 also?
It should. If you can get a hold of me, and we can FaceTime and all, and that I'll look at it and I'll let you know on that. Like I said, it's much easier to look at something and do it. I mean, I can tell you over the phone, but it's easier to look at it.
He's the man. I'm telling y'all. Stacy, I think that's about all the questions I see, buddy.
Hey, we're going to do one more giveaway, but it's going to be the very last thing we do. I want to read something. I always in this program with something spiritual. If you hang around me, I am some people, a guy asked me one time, said, I see you're a religious guy. I don't like to be called a religious guy, but I am a spiritual person. And I believe in spiritual principles. And this was the word that was on my mind this afternoon. I'm going to read a couple of verses and we'll give this away. But it's recorded in the book of Galatians in chapter 6 and in verse 7. It makes mention, do not be deceived. In other words, don't let nobody trick you or tell you no different. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. I learned years ago, and I used to not be like this. I used to be one, but it's probably could be as hateful as anybody and didn't show much sympathy. But I also found out my life was also when you find yourself down and out, that people jump on that bandwagon and do the same thing to you. So I went by and started to what people call a golden rule: do as unto others as you would have them do unto you. And the word of God makes mention that what a man sows, that shall he also reap. And if I expect people to show mercy to me, I must myself show mercy. If I expect people to forgive me, I must myself forgive other people. If I want people to show grace unto me, I must myself be graceful to other people. If I want people to love me, I must first be able to love other people. So he says, whatsoever a man sows. In the secular world, people call it karma. But in the spiritual world, it's a process of sowing and reaping. That whatever you sow is what comes back to you. And he goes on for this, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And let us not be weary in well doing. And he says this, don't give up, don't give in well doing, because sometimes people ask, why does bad things happen to good people? I have absolutely no clue. But it ain't going to stop me from being good. I'm going to continue to do that because he says in his word, for in due season I shall reap if I faint not. And so I want to encourage you here this afternoon. Just remember that whatever you're planting is what your harvest is going to be. And if you don't like the harvest that you're reaping right now, Maybe we need to sometime just stop and recollect and say, hey, what in the world am I planting in my life, in other people's lives? So plant something positive, plant something spiritual in someone's life tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and make it a principle of your life. And you're going to see it's going to have dramatic changes for you. God bless you, and may the power of the Holy Spirit continue to protect you and to watch over your life in Jesus' mighty name. We've got a $50 gift certificate. We've saved the best for last, and we still got 160 viewers waiting between Facebook and YouTube. And so help me out, Joey. Give me another number between 1 and 7. Let's do this.
This one's over $25, Noah. So I'm going to let you give him the number. That way people can be mad at you.
4 again.
Number 4.
And there's several people that saying they're going to be reaching out to you, Noah. So
I'm ready.
All right. The last winner of the $50 gift certificate, he is on YouTube tonight. It's Brian Harrigan. Brian, I don't know if you know how to get in touch with Dale Dunaway, but if you don't, you can contact me, Stacy Gaston, on Facebook Messenger, and I can get you the information to get in contact with him. If you know how to get in touch with Dale's Tackle, Dale Dunaway on Facebook, you can contact him and tell him you were the winner of the $50 prize, and he will be able to take care of you on that. And I will make sure that I send him also a message to let him know. Noah, it was great having you a part of our program tonight, man. So glad to have you here. You tell Rachel back there I said hi. And
Tell him bye,
Rachel, so good to see you, girl.
Hold on. That we got 5 puppies from Minnie.
We're fixing to get out of here. Joy, you got anything you want to say before we leave?
To Noah, there was one last question. Mono or braid?
Braid.
All right.
Guys, look forward to seeing y'all next week. We're back here again next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central. God bless you, and may the favor of the Lord continually be upon your life, and may a hedge of protection be about you in these times that we're living in, to protect you from any harm, danger, virus, sickness, or anything like that, in Jesus' name. We will see y'all next week.
Huh?